Story time about one of the rudest things someone's ever done to me. And I'm laughing right now because I just remembered this story time and I just had to come on here and tell you guys. Okay, like last year I decided that it was time to like do my dental stuff. Like I haven't had a dentist appointment in 15 years because I never had dentist appointments as a kid. For some reason, like our insurance maybe didn't cover it or we didn't have health insurance, but I didn't go to the dentist for like 15 years. I can say I never had a cavity until I was 21 and I got 4 of them, whatever. I up to the dentist and I'm just like, okay, it's time to fill my cavities. We'd already decided that I had cavities. I had 4 of them, which by the way, already freaking me out. I literally didn't grow up going to the dentist, so I was just like scared of the dentist. So I was having a panic attack. I up to the dentist office and I'm like freaked out and I kind of tell them like, oh my God, I'm so nervous to get my cavities filled. Like I've never had Novocaine, like a needle to my gums. Are you crazy? So the lady like decides to take my blood pressure, which I'm not sure if that's like standard procedure because again, I don't go to the dentist. To me, I'm like, why is a dentist taking my blood pressure? Anyway, she takes it and she's like, and I'm like, what? Like, why are you freaking out? She's like, your heart rate is so high that technically you should be having a heart attack. Literally don't tell that to someone who's having a panic attack. Why would you tell someone that's having a panic attack that they should be having a heart attack? Immediately, I'm so stressed out. I'm freaking out so hard that she has to turn on like water noise, like beach noises. She's like, I'm gonna leave the room and leave these beach noises on so you can calm down. I'm just like, yeah, right. Like, I'm gonna calm down now. Right. Are you out of your mind? I'm gonna freak out more. So I go into such a panic attack that I knock myself out. Unconscious, on the tape, fell asleep. On the table at the dentist office. She comes back in, she wakes me up, my heart rate's lower because I was asleep. And I get in the car leaving the dentist appointment and I'm starting to have double vision. My heart rate was so high that I gave myself double vision. I literally almost put myself into cardiac arrest because this lady told me that I should have been in cardiac arrest. My Apple Watch was like, sit down, you idiot, like sit down now. I just thought that was so rude. It's like, why would you tell me that? Like, it's funny now, like I called my mom, I'm like, I'm having double vision, I'm freaking out. She's like, Emily, pull over. And I'm just like, lady, you did not have to tell me that. That was so rude.
Story time, so you already know. Grab a snack, sit back, relax, and let's get on with the chisme. So it didn't take my dad long to find a girlfriend after him and my mom broke up. About 5 or 6 months after they broke up, my stepmom came to the US when I was 4. They got together and my dad had warned my stepmom that I was a rebellious kid and my 9-year-old sister at the time was very calm. Now my stepmom had a thing where she was a very demanding person and she always had an attitude, and my sister got tired of it, so eventually we ended up telling my mom and she didn't like it. After we told my mom, she ended up telling my dad that he better control his girlfriend. We were only 4 months into their relationship at this point. After that, I'm guessing my dad told her to calm her sass and attitude down, as my mom didn't like her character traits that she was putting out, and that's when it all went downhill. After my dad let her know, my stepmom would constantly yell at me and my sister for little things. Like, for example, if I had my hair down while I was eating, but it was like nicely down, not all crazy, she would tell my dad, hey, her hair is down, make sure to tell her to tie it. Mind you, when she would do that to me, she would always have her hair down too. And she could have told me herself because she was always sitting next to me, but she wouldn't. And then she would also talk my dad out of buying stuff for me and my sister, like hair products, toys, or clothing. My stepmom would tell my dad to not buy us anything at all. My mom was getting more mad each month that went by because my dad wouldn't take us out, he never bought us nothing, or spend time with us, and it was all because of my stepmom. My mom warned him again, and my dad was getting mad because my mom kept warning him that she was going to take him to court if he didn't start treating us better. My stepmom ended up finding out what my mom was saying, so that's when she started throwing out our clothes, both me and my sister's clothes. Now, my sister was a little overweight for her age, so it was a little harder for her to find clothes. My stepmom knew this, but she would throw them away in garbage bags anyways. The reason for her throwing our clothes was because she needed the extra room in our drawers for her clothes. This happened constantly for the next years, and I'm now 12 and my sister's 17, and my stepmom still does the same things. And I almost forgot to tell you guys, when I was 6, obviously I was innocent. Like, I didn't know anything about babies or how they were made, none of that. And I remember this one time, me and my sister, my stepmom, and my dad went out to eat a buffet. While we were sitting down and eating, my dad had forgot to get a salad, so he left and it was just me, her, and my sister at the table now. My sister was sitting next to me and my stepmom was across from my sister, and me and my sister were talking, and I brought up the fact that I didn't want to have kids when I get older. My stepmom, obviously sitting at her table, she overheard what I said, and she interrupted me talking, and she looked at me and she was like, well, don't open your legs then. And I looked at her and I was like, what? I was so confused because I obviously had no idea what that meant. She then proceeded to say, don't open your legs so you don't get pregnant. You have to have you know what intercourse to get pregnant. Again, I was confused, being innocent and young. My dad finally came back with the salad and he saw the tension on her face and me with a confused face. And my sister would have told him or at least defended me, but she was calm and shy, so she never spoke up. My dad looked around and he asked, hey, what's going on? And that's when my stepmom switched my words from I don't want to get pregnant when I'm older to she wants to know how to get pregnant and what sex means. Of course, as any other parent would be, my dad was shocked as I was only 6 years old. After my stepmom lied, my dad was furious and he ended up telling my mom. But that's the thing, I only said I didn't want to get pregnant when I'm older. But my stepmom switched it around as if I had already known how babies were made and what the meaning of sex was, and unfortunately she is still around to this day.
Get ready with me for school while I tell you about what happened last year on my birthday. If you're my boyfriend, keep scrolling because I know you're gonna get mad at me for posting about this, but it's for entertainment purposes only. Okay, so basically last year I was talking to this boy on my birthday, and I'm gonna name him Toxic Taurus because he was toxic and he was a Taurus. So last year was like the first year I didn't go out of town for my birthday, and he invited me over to spend the night, which my mom would never let me spend the night at a boy's house. So I basically told her I was spending the night at my friend's house, which was a girl, and she took me. His friend and his friend Sneaky Link was also spending the night, so it wasn't just us two. So I got there and like everything was going fine. Like we were like kind of all talking besides his friend Sneaky Link, and she was just like sitting there and it was really awkward. But then like 30 minutes later, Toxic Taurus started being so mean to me. Like, I was literally holding back my tears because he just started being mean to me out of nowhere. So at this point it was like quiet for like 15 minutes, and Toxic Taurus was like on the corner of his bed. He had a big ass beanbag. I was on that, and then his friend was like leaning on the corner of the beanbag I was on, and then his Sneaky Link was on the other corner of the bed. So it was just so awkward. So I started texting his friend, like asking him like why is he being so weird and like mean, and he was like, the girl that's here is talking to Toxic Taurus's crazy ex and telling her that you're here. And I was like, why does she care? His ex had gotten in the way of me and Toxic Taurus's relationship before, and this time he told me that they were like completely done, like no contact, no anything. So I was like so confused on why like he was mad about it. So his friend was still texting me even though he was like right next to me, but he was like, don't worry about it, like we just have to get this girl out of here. So basically they made like a lie to her. They were like, my mom wants everyone to go home, and I felt so bad because when they told her that, she was like freaking out because she had no ride home. But like after 10 minutes she ended up finding a ride home, and then once she left he started being like all nice to me again, and at this point I like wanted to leave because I was like so suspicious and the vibe was just off. But I couldn't go home because it was like 11:30. Part 2 of getting ready with me while I tell you about what happened last year on my birthday. Okay, so I think we're at the part where Toxic Taurus's friend Sneaky Link left, and after that he started being all nice to me again, and like we were all just like, you know, talking and whatever. So I ended up staying the night. I was an actual dummy last year, okay, and I like couldn't take the clues that him and his ex were like still keeping in contact. So I just like ignored everything, and the next day I went home around like 5 or 6, and I seen that his ex posted a TikTok of screenshots about what they were talking about the day before, and it was like saying that they were, I guess, trying to, okay, I can't do this, I guess they were trying to like fix things, like trying to make their relationship work, which I had no idea about, okay, because he had told me that they were nothing. So I was like upset because how are you just gonna lie to me, even though I should have known because he had lied to me before. Oh my gosh. And she posted a TikTok basically calling me a homewrecker. I tried to explain to her like what happened, but she did not care. She just hated me. And then all her friends like commented under my TikTok saying how I'm a homewrecker and stuff. So basically it was like really bad, but I didn't even care. Okay, I look crazy, but so I text Toxic Taurus and I was like, what is this about? Like, you guys were talking? And he was just like, don't worry about it, I don't like her, she's crazy.